So, this year has started off really, really strange. And I'm feeling really pulled to talk about my autism because I don't think I've ever talked about it really on any of the videos that I've done before. But for those who don't, like most of the people that you hear, hear talking about autism are usually the caregivers, because most autistic people or people on the spectrum don't really have the ability to verbalize themselves in a way that makes sense to other people. And to someone with autism, it really does come across as this very woe is me, feel sorry for me, look what I have to put up with type of a thing. And the thing is that what most people don't understand about autistic people is that just because we don't say anything doesn't mean that it's not getting through. So when you do things like drink excessively, we can actually smell it. And especially when we're on sensory overload, we can really super smell it. The whole house reeks of alcohol just from one person getting drunk. Put 5 people in a house and all 5 of them are getting drunk. You make the autistic person literally physically ill. Noise, where it's for a normal person, it's not anything, you think that something's on like level 3 on volume. I literally listen to my meditation music and whatnot on 1 because sometimes my ears are so sensitive that's blasting. But level 1 is blasting to me, and it's almost intolerable. So then when you have your music on level 3, level 5, level 7, which is where most of the young people listen to their music at it now, it's painful, to say the least. Your perfume that you wear is nauseating. It is an exercise in tolerance just to exist with someone who's not autistic and doesn't understand. They're everything from smells, sounds, lights, too many lights being on. These all can, too many people in one area. These are all things that will, trigger an autistic person. And most of them have, myself included, especially me, I have rituals. And most of those involve cleaning my space. And it's a survival technique. It really is a survival technique. And people think it's like an OCD thing, and it's absolutely not. There's a huge difference between OCD and ritualistic autism, maintenance things that we do. And mine are mostly ritualistic maintenance, just to keep my mind straight, center myself and make sure that I don't go completely batshit nuts on everybody for no freaking reason. Appearingly, no seemingly, no outward reason. But when you start putting extra people into a space, when you start putting extra smells, like the smell of meat cooking, I don't know what happened because I grew up eating meat. My family were hunters, God forbid you say that there's a deer in the orchard at my uncle's place because that's dinner, So I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the lines, I became a vegetarian, moving towards veganism. And, after a couple of years of being a vegetarian, the smell of meat it's sickening. It smells like burning flesh to me. So, just the smell of, what smells good to you, bacon cooking in the morning, because it smells like food, to me, it doesn't smell like food. That's not food. Beets are food. Beans are food. Rice is food. The tomatoes are food. Porky Pig is not food. I'm sorry, he ain't food no more. And it is that alone is enough to cause an autistic person to be triggered. And with myself, at least, I know with people that I've lived with in the past, I've asked, hey, can you turn on the fan? Because it's not my job to make them vegetarian or vegan or whatever. But could you turn on the fan and push to make sure that the whole house doesn't smell like meat cooking? And to have that ignored. To be written off because, they're just overreacting. They're just. It's just her autism. It's not just our autism. If someone came to you and asked you to bathe in mercuric acid, your response would be like hell. That's what you're asking an autistic person to do, to conform to this kind of an environment, is to ask them to literally bathe in mercuric acid or allow somebody to stick needles in their eyeballs, with no anesthesia. That's literally what you're asking them to do. And as much as it seems like, it would be such an easy thing, it's not such an easy thing. It really isn't. As much as I would love to change these things about myself, this is what it is, and as difficult as it is for people to live with me, it's just as difficult for me to live with them. Daily, there's just the body smells, the perfume, the extra soaps and stuff that people use. It's common, everywhere I go, there's people with, you go into the grocery store or the supermarket, you go pretty much anywhere, go to church, and somebody is going to be wearing perfume. I usually have to overpower my nose by putting either an essential oil or some kind of polymer either up in my nose or on my upper lip so that I can tolerate just being out in the world. It's not easy for me. As easy as my life looks, as easy as I make it look, as together as it may seem like I am, or that, I guess that's the pretense, that's how people receive, that's how they receive my walk, is that I'm so put together and I'm so, I'm really not. I am literally the biggest mess you could possibly imagine. I scrape through life by the skins of my teeth every single day. And I take a deep breath and thank God that I made it through just one more day. And that's every day. This does not phase out or in. It is every single day. I say thanks to God for just making it through one stinking day. And even if that's so much as just getting up and going to the doctor's office, going grocery shopping, it is a huge effort for me to do these things. My life is a huge effort. It's not as simple as everybody would like to believe it is. And before you judge somebody for being this intentionally bitchy or horrible person, take a moment, just a moment, because I know that that's a societal standard to just kind of project onto autistic people or the disabled in general and talk about how difficult it is to live with them, or to deal with them, or to talk to them, or to, communicate with them. And it's always this them thing. But the truth is that it's us. We all have our own little part that we need to work on, to create better communication. And it's not just about the autistic person being a pain in the ass and this horrible, rotten, ugly person. It is about the communication between groups of people. And the groups need to take some time to try to communicate with one another. Try to communicate the fact that this is painful. What you're doing is causing severe pain, physical pain. This is not just, hey, I just want things my way or the highway, It is, you are causing me physical pain at this point. Please stop. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of misconceptions where, just in general terms, when it comes to societal standards, where autism is concerned, most people think that we're intentionally hurtful, or we're just so narcissistic that we don't realize the impact that we make on the people around us. And that's not true. There's just things about us that we can't change. We literally, physically cannot change these things. And, which means that we don't fit into normal society either. We're the weird ones, we're the oddballs, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else that needs to be said about the whole autistic thing, but I know that I keep feeling myself being pulled in this direction to start talking about it because most people in my position don't have the ability to talk about what we deal with every single day. I've watched Fathering Autism a few times, and it does definitely come across as, and I'm sure, I am absolutely positive that's not how he means it at all. He appears to very much love his daughter, and if he didn't, he probably wouldn't still be where he's at. But it does come across to autistic people of, look at what we have to deal with, rather than hearing from his daughter, hearing from her mouth, because she can't speak for herself. So I'm hoping to do more videos like this, but I think that's it for today. I'll see everybody on Monday. Bye.